Yo, what's up, guys? So, a little over a week ago, I officially quit my job. And honestly, it's just really been draining me mentally, and it's been something that I've been putting off for the longest time. I think it's just really easy to get comfortable, you know what I mean? And kind of just deal with things and, I don't know, just tolerate and just be comfortable because it's easier to deal with the crap that feels comfortable, you know what I mean? That you're used to rather than like stepping out in faith and entering into an unknown and new chapter. Like that's a lot more daunting at times than dealing with just the junk from day to day, you know what I mean? Realistically, I did stay longer than I should have because it felt safe, especially with now going back and forth to Japan, being in a international relationship, going out on your own, especially as a creative and freelance. It's that's super scary and daunting, you know what I mean? So it's easier to do and stick with the quote unquote stable paycheck, right? And the other reason really is like the environment. It just wasn't the best for me. And I don't really want to get into it too much, but in the big scope of things, it just wasn't aligning with where I wanted to go. It served its purpose, it served its time because it was necessary for my journey and for me to get to where I'm at, to have the knowledge, to have the know-how, to have the just experience, you know what I mean? Working in a screen printing shop, learning all the technicalities there are to it, and just a way to think of it in a different perspective when creating product and creating garments. But other than that, that's about it. I would always stay because I would always tell myself or people it's dope that I get to work at a job where I get paid, and then I also get to use the shop as a resource to print my own product. The reality is, like, that's not the only place I can print. Thankfully, I have other connections and other people that I can print with. So if that's the case, it's just a paycheck at that point because I got to a point where I've found myself not growing, not going into a higher position or something that would help me and develop me in my goals. And so I just stagnated, really, you know what I mean? And to be honest, towards the end, like things were starting to get a bit tense, a bit heavy for me. And so, without getting into too many details, like I said, because that's not what this video is about, I did end up leaving my job last Monday. And today is the following Tuesday. So it's been a little bit over a week. I feel like I've had plenty enough time to process this. Just talk about it. You know what I mean? I honestly wanted to talk about it day one just because I'm kind of like, I don't know, like I don't feel negative about it. I left work, the day I decided to officially quit, I felt light and I felt free the whole time. I didn't feel heavy or guilty or like I was doing the wrong thing. Don't get me wrong, throughout the whole time of really just like leading up to the actual final decision, the official decision, I was going back and forth with it. I was trying to, I turn over every stone, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to look at it from every perspective and angle, making sure I'm not just going off by emotions or just like making any rash decisions. But realistically, if you're not doing well mentally, if you're not doing well, it's gonna show, it's gonna creep out, you know what I mean? It was definitely a thing where I had to take a step back and trust God. Remember that he's my ultimate provider. Any job or work or anything like that, that's not the source. That's just the faucet. And the faucet isn't the source. Like there's something behind the faucet. I've been using this analogy a lot lately. The faucet isn't the source. It's just an outlet. You know what I mean? The true source behind that, and in this analogy is God. You know what I mean? It says He will provide as long as I'm putting the work on my end and being diligent and trying to be smart and wise and pivoting and doing my best to put myself in a position to make things happen. Like I'm doing my best to believe and trust that God is going to meet me halfway. Another like quote that I had heard not too long ago, it's work like it depends on you, but pray like it depends on God. And that's the balance that I'm trying to carry out. And that's what's honestly keeping me sane. Pretty surprised at how well I'm dealing with everything. I've been using ChatGPT to help me process all of this, to make wise decisions and look at everything objectively. I've been talking to family, I've been talking to friends, I've been talking back with my girlfriend as well, and just making sure like I communicate, like I said, make any rash decisions or anything like that. I'm having a hard time saying decisions. But yeah, so there's definitely hints of fear and pressure because it's on me. It's directly on me. It's not like I can go to a job and slack off and I'll still get paid the same amount. I have to put in every bit amount of work and do my best. You know what I mean? I have to show up. I have to either do the Uber Eats or do the work to get sales or build something, build a structure and systems to build something and put something out there. So even though I still feel that pressure at times, I still feel really free. I still feel really excited. I still see all the options and like flexibility, and I don't know, it's just like a different way of looking at things, man. Because right now what I'm doing to income streams that I see are Uber Eats, selling on eBay, because I sell Pokemon accessories, TCG accessories like sleeves and deck boxes and stuff like that from Japan Pokemon Center. I also have been putting myself out there for freelance and been getting orders for that, whether it's graphic design, photography, custom decals, and then also my brands. Like I said, doing the farewell sale for Feels, that's been, or for Triple Love, that's been making money, and that's been me making moves in forward progress. And then eventually I'll be able to focus on Feels more and put work on that and start generating sales through that as well. I'm pretty optimistic about it. You know what I mean? It's easy to think it could not work, but it's just the same amount of energy to believe that it can work. Both are untrue and true at the same time until you actually put in the work, or just don't put in the work. Then of course it's not going to work. That's just kind of just where I've been at, man. I've been getting more consistent with Uber Eats. I got on top of my budgeting, knowing what exactly my expenses are, what I have to make each month, bare minimum, looking at my income streams, figuring out which are the best things to focus on and push, and then just following through and putting in the work, like chipping those big goals down to small bite size and actionable next steps. You know what I mean? And other than that, just like making sure I stay connected to God. Every morning I watch some type of church message or like sermon on YouTube. I'm in my Bible app. I'm connected to my people. I'm not just trying to do it on my own. I'm also trying to use the tools like that I have, like ChatGPT, to help with all the processing and mental work, whether it's, processing what's going on and how I'm feeling, or just like a scenario, to figuring out how to, like, what's the next step or what's the plan on for X project or this goal. You know what I mean? It really helps break things down and makes it feel more obtainable, because it helps create that next actionable step even beyond that. Yeah, man, I feel really, really light, really excited. I'm like so much more excited about my days. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a trip, and other things have been popping up, man. Like at first, like the orders weren't hot with which is Triple Love, and then I pray about it, and then it starts coming through slowly but surely. And then just other opportunities. Today I had a meeting. I don't want to talk about that too much, but that's just other opportunities that I couldn't even fathom. That's just God working, man. You know what I mean? It's like the ripples that he does within our relationships, that it's one of those things, like I couldn't write it. I didn't do anything. It's just, I just did what I feel like I should do. Stay true, stay authentic, stay loving, stay optimistic, man. Remember that I'm not doing it alone, and trust the process, man. I gave myself grace for that first week, because when things get shaken up out of nowhere and it's like trying to figure out your footing, trying to get your rhythm, that doesn't happen just in an instant. I'm proud of how well I performed and just carried myself, this first week or so. And so I'm excited to build off of that, you know what I mean? And just be able to take it to the next level, trust and see where things go, and just be wise and smart about it and use my time wisely, man. Now it's like, it's really sink or swim. Am I like, this is the dream, right? And it's like, okay, well, here, you get to live the dream. Are you going to talk about it, or are you going to be about it? You know what I mean? Are you going to sink, or are you going to swim? And sometimes it takes jumping off, just jumping into the deep end right away. Obviously, the more calculated, the better. But sometimes life and God has a way of ushering you and showing you that there is no perfect time other than right now. And like, what are you going to do in response to what's going on? You know what I mean? Around you and inside you. If you're stuck in a place that's slowly wearing you down, like, I get it. It's not easy to walk away, but sometimes choosing yourself is the only way forward. I know it's important to die to ourselves, but that's to be dying of our sins. You have to remember that you have to take care of yourself, man. If you don't take care of yourself and look out for yourself, no one is. People are just gonna be willing to take advantage of you because you're not taking advantage of yourself. You know what I mean? Of the life that you're given, the opportunities that you have. If you're not willing to take advantage of that, other people are just going to take advantage of it. So be wise about it and make sure you just keep a heart, a good heart throughout it all. There's no need to keep any animosity or just come at people sideways or wicked or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, do what you got to do. Keep it professional, keep it solid, you know what I'm saying? Keep it respectable. Make those moves, man. Step by step. Just take that next step. And sometimes, a lot of the times, that's all it really is just taking that next step. And that's all I got. The man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. And with that, I'll catch you guys later. Yeah, let me know if you guys are going through anything similar or if any of this related. If you mess with the vibe, if you mess with the vision, the heart, the journey, hit that subscribe button. Keep tuning in. See what's going on, man. Come along for the adventure, you know what I mean? See how it plays out. All right, guys. I'll catch you later. Peace.